60 million.
That is the figure now being thrown into one of South Africa's most explosive political accusations, and at the center of it is EFF leader Julius Malema. A public march, a loud accusation, and a claim involving Nigerian drug dealers allegedly funding political protection. Within minutes, the video spread across social media like wildfire, turning a street protest into a national controversy. Ngizwe Mchunu, a controversial activist and former Akozi FM presenter, is now at the center of a storm after alleging that Malema received massive payments from criminal networks in exchange for protecting undocumented foreign nationals. But here's where things immediately get complicated, because no documents have been produced, no verified financial records have surfaced, and no law enforcement agency has confirmed any of it. Just a bold claim made in public, and a political firestorm that followed. So the question now is not just what was said, but why was it said, and why now? Before we go deeper, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because stories like this don't just disappear. They evolve. And what looks like a political accusation today could become a legal battle tomorrow.
Because Julius Malema is eating imali yamakwelekwele ngaphandle. He recently got 60 million from the Nigerian drug dealers, and now that's why he's highly protected and is also willing to lose everything that he has politically in order to protect Nigerians and other illegal immigration.
And this is where the story starts to matter far beyond social media outrage. Because if even part of this allegation is ever taken seriously by authorities, it could trigger one of the most politically sensitive investigations in recent South African politics. But if it is proven false, it could open the door to defamation claims, political retaliation, and reputational damage that could reshape public trust in key figures. So, what exactly happened? To understand this, we need to go back to the moment the accusation was made. Ngizwe Mchunu was participating in a public march near the Union buildings in Pretoria. The protest, which was focused on immigration-related grievances, quickly turned into a political platform where strong statements were made about illegal foreigners, crime, and political leadership. During his address, Mchunu allegedly claimed that Julius Malema had received around R60 million from Nigerian drug dealers. According to him, this money was allegedly exchanged for political protection, particularly in relation to undocumented immigrants. He further suggested that Malema's strong public stance in defense of African immigrants, especially Nigerians, was not purely ideological but allegedly influenced by financial incentives. And just like that, a political grenade was thrown into the public space. But here's where things start to raise immediate questions. There was no evidence presented during the speech. No names of alleged intermediaries. No financial trails. No corroborating witnesses brought forward at the time of the claim. Just a direct accusation made in a highly public setting, surrounded by supporters and cameras. And within hours, the clip was everywhere. Social media platforms lit up. Supporters of Mchunu praised him for speaking out, while critics accused him of spreading dangerous and potentially defamatory claims without evidence. Then came the response from Julius Malema himself. In a short but pointed post, Malema wrote, "Duh. When and where did he say that?" That response was not just denial. It was a challenge, a demand for specificity, and a clear pushback against the allegation. Here's where things escalate into something more than political noise, because now legal implications enter the picture. If this matter is pursued legally, the burden of proof becomes the central issue. In defamation law, especially involving public figures, claims must be backed by credible evidence. Not assumptions, not rumors, but verifiable facts. So the question becomes, can Ngizwe Mchunu actually prove what he alleged in a court of law? And if he cannot, what motivated such a high-stakes accusation in the first place? Let's break down the timeline more clearly. The first key moment was the public march near the Union buildings. This was not a private meeting or closed-door discussion. It was a public demonstration with media presence and live recording. During that event, Mchunu allegedly made the R60 million claim linking Malema to Nigerian drug dealers and suggested a financial motive behind his political stance on immigration. Shortly after, video clips of the statement began circulating online, amplifying the reach far beyond the original crowd. Within hours, political commentators, journalists, and ordinary users began reacting. Some dismissed it as baseless political theater. Others treated it as a serious allegation requiring investigation. Then came Malema's public response on social media, challenging the claim and effectively demanding accountability. But here's where things take a turn that many people are still trying to understand. Why would such a claim be made in a public setting without immediately available evidence? One possible explanation raised by critics is political provocation. In highly charged political environments, allegations can sometimes be used as tools to damage reputations, shift public perception, or mobilize support. Another angle is personal or ideological conflict. Ngizwe Mchunu has previously made strong public statements on immigration and national identity, which may explain the context of the march. But none of this answers the central question: where is the evidence? And that is the gap that keeps the story alive. Because when allegations involve criminal networks, political protection, and large sums of money, they do not just remain political speech. They enter the realm of potential criminal investigation. But so far, no police statement has confirmed any active investigation into these specific claims. And this is the part few people are talking about. If no investigation is opened, does that mean the claims lack credibility? Or does it reflect the difficulty of investigating politically sensitive allegations involving alleged transnational criminal links? Either way, the silence from official institutions adds another layer of uncertainty. Now, let's look at the broader implications. Politically, this accusation touches on one of the most sensitive debates in South Africa: immigration and national security. It challenges existing narratives and places immigration policy back under intense scrutiny. Socially, the impact is equally intense. Public trust in political leaders is already fragile, and allegations like this deepen divisions between supporters and critics. Economically, prolonged political scandals can affect investor confidence and national stability, especially when they involve high-profile figures. But here's where the story becomes even more complex. There is also the question of timing. Why is this allegation surfacing now? Why during a public march? Why in this specific political climate? Some analysts suggest timing is often strategic in politics. Others believe it may simply be spontaneous political escalation in a heated environment. Either way, the timing guarantees maximum attention. Public reaction has been sharply divided. Some see bravery, others see irresponsibility. Political commentators are split between calls for legal action and calls for restraint. And here's the tension that continues to build. If Malema pursues legal action, evidence must be presented or the claim retracted. If he does not, the allegation will still linger in public discourse. So what happens next? At this stage, there are only a few possible directions: legal escalation, public fading of the story, or continued political confrontation through further statements. And that is what makes this situation so unpredictable. Because once an allegation like this enters public space, it rarely disappears quietly. It evolves. It spreads. And it reshapes perception long after the original statement is made. But here's the final question. Is this political expression gone too far, or a claim that demands full investigation regardless of who is involved? Until evidence emerges, the public remains in uncertainty. And in politics, uncertainty can sometimes be more powerful than truth.